With the Las Vegas Raiders making the news of hiring our new offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, it will be very interesting to see what the Raiders ultimately end up doing at the quarterback position. Everybody, when it comes to analyzing the Raiders, they're immediately going to look at that quarterback room because it was just not good last season with Gardner Minshew and with Aiden O'Connell. And that's going to be one of the biggest question marks on what this coaching staff does, because it is great that we have a good proven head coach in Pete Carroll that has a great resume. It's good that we have Chip Kelly as well, Patrick Graham coming back, but if we cannot get consistent quarterback play and ultimately find a solution long term for the quarterback position, it's going to be difficult for the Raiders to compete in the AFC West. And when you talk about Chip Kelly being the offensive coordinator, he has just really been known for his dynamic play calling and the dynamic offenses he has ran in college and throughout the NFL. And one thing you can see with Chip Kelly is he has a history of coaching mobile, athletic, dual threat style quarterbacks. And with the Raiders currently having Aiden O'Connell, I don't know where that's going to leave him, but there is a good chance that they will get another quarterback that fits more of that Chip Kelly mold when it comes to the dual threat quarterback. His overall offensive philosophy is known for fast-paced, spread-style offenses with a balanced approach when it comes to the running game. And when he was at the University of Oregon, he really transformed college football, and that's really what put him on the map, that gave him an opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL. And when he was at the Oregon Ducks, he turned them into a powerhouse with quarterbacks of the likes of Jeremiah Masoli, Darren Thomas, and eventual Heisman Trophy winner Marcus Mariota. And all those quarterbacks are known for their dual threat ability. Now, his NFL stints with the Eagles and the 49ers, it was a little bit mixed, but he definitely had some mobile quarterbacks as well in Michael Vick, Sam Bradford. And then when he went back to UCLA as a head coach, he worked with dual threat quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who is known for his athletic prowess at the quarterback position. So to me, it's safe to say that he's had a lot of experience, and his best offenses have revolved around dual threat quarterbacks. Now, with the Raiders, could this mean a focus on these style quarterbacks, and particularly in free agency? Because when it comes to free agency, there are a couple different options that the Raiders could ultimately end up targeting. And one of the main quarterbacks is Justin Fields. And Justin Fields, he is an interesting option just due to the fact that he's young. He is a former first-round quarterback, and Justin Fields, his time with the Chicago Bears did not really work out, but he did show some flashes of being a really electric playmaker. When you look at his career stats in 2021 as a rookie, he threw for 1,800 yards, 7 touchdown passes, 10 interceptions, and he had 420 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. In 2022, he did improve significantly, about 2,200 passing yards, 7 touchdown passes, 11 interceptions, alongside a dominant rushing display, 1,100 yards on the ground, and 8 touchdowns on the ground. In 2023, had 2,500 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and about 650 rushing yards. And last season, he moved on to the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he had about 1,100 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, 289 rushing yards, and 5 rushing touchdowns. And this was in a season where he only started 6 games. So look, Justin Fields, he could be your prototypical low risk, high reward type of scenarios for the Raiders at the quarterback position. And what makes it interesting about him is he is going to be a free agent. He's going to be attainable. He shouldn't cost you a whole lot of money as well. And at this point, he's not going to really be a quarterback that you're going to have to invest a whole lot in. You can get him to like a 2-year deal. It would be sort of a gamble type of move, and he could be a good fit with the Chip Kelly offense. He has plenty of experience working with quarterbacks that have the skill sets that Justin Fields has. Now, one thing to know about Justin Fields is the fact that he has struggled, which is why he didn't work out with the Chicago Bears. being a former first round pick, and he's just had a lot of issues when it comes to throwing the football, particularly when it comes to reading opposing NFL defenses. He hasn't done a consistent job when it comes to identifying coverages, going through his progressions, and making the right reads in those scenarios. He also tends to struggle with pocket presence, leading to a lot of unnecessary sacks, and this issue can result in him not seeing the field well, leading to sacks and missing open receivers. Accuracy has also been an issue with Justin Fields. Despite him showing some improvement year by year, his career completion percentage is right around 60%, which shows his struggles when it comes to completing the football on a consistent basis. But as I mentioned, his dual threat nature could really thrive in the Chip Kelly offense, even if he doesn't become the long-term solution for the Raiders. I mean, Justin Fields could be a decent bridge quarterback, providing a little bit of stability and dynamic play while the Raiders ultimately draft a quarterback this season. You can draft a quarterback, you can let him sit for about a year, let him develop, let him learn the offense, and sit behind a young player like Justin Fields before you throw him out there. So that could be an option for the Raiders. Now, another quarterback that could be on the radar for the Raiders is Marcus Mariota, the former Raider. I mean, at this point, he's been with a lot of NFL teams, but that could be a good veteran quarterback option for the Raiders. Now, at this stage of his career, though, he can't really be more than a backup or like a spot starter for you. And Marcus Mariota and Chip Kelly, they have history together. They worked together at the University of Oregon, where ultimately Marcus Mariota ended up being a Heisman Trophy winner. And he thrived in that environment and the overall offensive scheme that Chip Kelly implemented with the University of Oregon. Now, Marcus Mariota, to me, he could be an intriguing option, another cost-effective option for the Raiders. He's going to be cheap. He's going to be available as well. He will be a free agent, and his experience in Chip Kelly's system could be really valuable for the Raiders, and he could be proven to be a great mentor for a young quarterback. So that's where I really like this option. You can just look at how he's been helping the Commanders' star rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, who has spoken very highly of Marcus Mariota and his role and his transition to the NFL. So like I said, Mariota could be a really good backup quarterback option for us, and he could be a solid spot starter for you. And ultimately, he could be a great mentor for any young quarterback that the Raiders ultimately end up drafting. Now, ultimately, I think that's what they need to do. They're going to have to locate their guy in this year in the draft, and they're going to have to take a chance on him. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft that maybe they're not going to be great early on, but they have good skill sets. They have a lot of physical traits that you could work with. And I think that'd be a good scenario for the Raiders, especially under a good offensive mind like Chip Kelly. So it's all gonna be about which quarterback Chip Kelly would rather have start next season. If we're gonna go the bridge quarterback route, would he be okay with Aiden O'Connell, even though, you know, Aiden O'Connell would easily be the least athletic quarterback he's ever worked with? Or do they go the veteran quarterback route? Do they try to get a guy like Justin Fields that could maybe help ease the transition for a rookie and reducing the pressure on him coming into the league? Now, overall, I do think there's a good chance Chip Kelly's going to want to bring in another quarterback into this room, especially a quarterback with that dual threat ability, and Aiden O'Connell just really doesn't fit that mold. Justin Fields is interesting just due to how young he is. He has some upside, but I will say the weird thing with Justin Fields is, yes, he sort of fits his scheme, but the only thing is he's still young. He's not a veteran quarterback as well. He's trying to figure out his own career as well. And ultimately, he's a quarterback that needs development as well. So I don't know how well of a mentor he would be for any rookie quarterback coming in here. If anything, it would be like a direct competition with Justin Fields. So that's the only thing that has me worried about him. And he obviously has those struggles when it comes to throwing the football. And I do like having athletic quarterbacks, but you got to have a quarterback that's a passer first, that can do most of his damage through the air. And then he uses his legs as a complement to bail your offense out or to make some big plays outside of the pocket. And I don't know if Justin Fields at this point would really fit that mold. Now with Marcus Mariota though, that could be very intriguing though, because he is a guy that definitely fits the bill of your, quote unquote veteran quarterback. At this point, he's a veteran journeyman quarterback. His days as a potential franchise quarterback are long behind him, and he could be a good quarterback to just really have in that room to help develop a rookie quarterback and help him learn the offense. And like I said, he could be a really good spot starter if he had to, because the only issue with him is he's injury prone. So at this stage of his career, we really wouldn't be able to depend on him to start a full 17-game season, but as a backup quarterback, I would like to bring him in. We'll just have to see what happens. He may just want to go back with the Washington Commanders. We'll have to see what happens on that front, but it will be super interesting to see what Chip Kelly's first move at the quarterback position will be. What do the Raiders do at this position? You know, ideally, I don't really want us to spend big money on a veteran quarterback like Sam Darnold though. Typically in the NFL, when you're spending big money on quarterbacks, very rarely does that pan out. And ultimately, I'm just not a huge fan of Sam Darnold. I think he was in a perfect situation with the Minnesota Vikings, a great offensive-minded head coach, great weapons, just a good team all the way around. But ultimately, you saw in the playoffs, he looked terrible. And I think that's kind of the ceiling you get with a guy like Sam Darnold. I don't really see him ever making a legit run to win a Super Bowl. So I don't really want us to spend a whole lot of money on a quarterback like that. I would much rather invest in a young quarterback through the draft and try to build that way. But Raider Nation, with Chip Kelly being hired as offensive coordinator, do you guys think the Raiders could be in the market for a mobile style quarterback in free agency like a Justin Fields? Do you think Aiden O'Connell still has a shot to compete with Chip Kelly being in here? Let me know in that comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that's all for you guys in today's video. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.